Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As I said many times, after watching these guys reporting the news, these guys being the Western countries and Russia, I figured out this proportion or this state of facts. When either side has reports some success on the front, you divide it by 3. When they report the other side's losses, okay, then you divide it again by 3. When they report their losses, you multiply it by 3 to kind of get to where they really are. That was my observation. That's my rule when I read these guys. So if, let's say, the Russians come and say, hey, we destroyed 100 pieces of equipment in Ukraine, probably they destroyed about 30. The same thing is for the Ukrainians. If they say, well, we destroyed about 100 Russians on the front, probably they destroyed some 30. Again, that's what it is. Or when they say, well, we have only 30 pieces of equipment blown up, probably they're 100. So about 3 times. The problem is when you have these guys coming out and say, well, especially the Ukrainians, saying things are not going very well on the front. Now, when you hear that, I think you have to multiply that by 3. That means that things are bad, really bad. Because they always say, most of the time, they say, we're winning 100%. We're succeeding here, we're pushing them back, and all that. The same do the Western media. Now, I have here an article coming from Ukrainska Pravda, and you're going to have Hanna Maliar, the spokeswoman, I think, of the Ministry of Defense, and she's gonna let us know that the things are not going very well on the front. Now that's, oh my God, coming from the Ukrainian, that means that things are really fucked up. You know, it's dead, face down in the water, floating downstream for about, 3 days already, like bloated. So let's see what's going on here. Situation on Eastern Front complicated. Complicated means we are fucked. Russians deploy more troops. Not good. Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. Ukrainska Pravda. So when I say complicated, that means it's really bad. That's how I got to understand it, reading and listening to these guys. Hanna Maliar, Deputy Minister of Defense of Ukraine, reported that the Russians deployed more troops. How in the hell they deployed more troops? From where? In Ukraine's east, but the Ukrainian forces did not let them advance. So that tells me they advanced a little bit, and this guy is really bringing a lot of troops. This is my translation. But hey, that's my personal translation. And I'm quoting, the situation in Ukraine's east is complicated at the moment. Oh, where is that counteroffensive? Complicated means things are not going the way we really want them to go. The Russians have deployed their forces there. No shit, I thought they were just vacant land for sale. Conducting an active offensive. How in the hell you conduct an offensive when we conduct a counteroffensive? In the Liman and Kupiansk front, trying to seize the initiative. So let's see where Liman and Kupiansk are, okay? Here we are. Liman, these are right here in the let me put it from far away. There you go. Ukraine, this is the front. Liman and Kupiansk are right here in this area, according to Miss Maliar. And here is Liman right here. This is Liman and Kupiansk. I don't know if it's somewhere right here. Kupiansk right here, and Liman is right here. So making like this big is this front. This is, according to Maliar, the Russians are conducting their offensive like here. The Ukrainians are conducting their offensive right here in the south of Donetsk and north of, if you want, or east of Zaporozhye. So here is where the counteroffensive is conducted by the Ukrainians, and the Russians are doing it here. Now I don't know if they want to just go and encircle them eventually. We'll find out, but that's going to be, again, here is the defense and offense coming from the Russians. But let's see what the Ukrainians are, or Maliar is saying. There are also frequently launched attacks. Intense fighting is ongoing. Our troops are acting courageously in the conditions of the prevailing Russian forces and assets, and do not let them advance. Prevailing. Conditions of the prevailing Russian forces and assets, and do not let them advance. So they're advancing. Remember, this she didn't say here is just I'm going to talk about Liman and Kupiansk. This is the front, Eastern Front. Now, Eastern Front is the whole thing. This is the Eastern Front right here. Consider Eastern Front because this is west, this is east, north, south. So this, when I talk Eastern Front, that's the Eastern Front. So she is talking about the Russian advancing, or at least trying. Details. She added that the Russians have not given up their plans to advance up to the administrative borders of Donetsk and Luhansk Oblast. At the moment, this is the main direction of the Russian offensive. The Russians have concentrated many units, mainly air assault troops. How in the hell they still got them? In Ukraine's east. So the things are not going well, I can tell you that. And if Maliar, this person, says it, that means they are not doing at all good. By the title, complicated. If you will be winning and advancing 300 miles per second, there will not be this right here complicated. It will be, we are about to f them up. But this is what they say, and this is my translation. My translation is based on observation and patterns. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. It's surprising how in the hell the Russians still have resources. Because they took them from below the dam and south of the dam and took them over there. Okay.